Good morning. Happy New Week. I wish you all a great week ahead. So, welcome again to Talk Less Interior and Exterior Designs. Today, we are going to be discussing on how to calculate paint quality. So, how do we calculate paint quality? There are some qualities that we need to check in paint for us to know that yes, this paint is very rich, so it is quality. So number one thing to check is, paint is not just what we apply on the wall. So it's required to meet some standard. So for us to have a good finishing. So number one thing to check is the coverage, the paint coverage. So how wide can this paint cover? So when producing paint, so it requires different chemicals. So among these chemicals, there is one particular chemical that works more for coverage. So that means if the paint can cover very well, it means they use a very um they use a very good um they use a very good quantity of um titan, so and other things as well. Now apart from coverage, so you check the thickness of the paint. So the thickness of the paint can also determine the quality of it, because there are some paint that they are just light anyhow. So and they are the when paint is too light, that means there are some chemicals that require to be there, so that are not there, or that are there in low quantity. So another thing for you to check is how many coats does this paint require before it can cover very well, because before you have a good finishing. So you have to check. If a paint is quality, two coats is okay. Two coats or maximum of three coats is fine if that paint is very quality. But if it is not quality, before you can gain a very so if the paint is not that quality, that means you have to like apply two, three, four, five coats. Sometimes I don't know how it is, or unless you want to have a bad work finishing. Because I went somewhere yesterday and seriously, I actually saw is actually a office. Yeah, it's an office. So the kind of paint on it, just like maybe someone just prime, but to them they have paint and it's not okay. Like seriously. So another thing is you check the pigment strength. So how good is the pigment strength that they use in the paint? So is the pigment come out nicely? So you have to like take note of that as an interior designer. So for you to know that this paint is highly quality. Then you check uh the binder strength as well. So how good does the binder quality. So is the binder work very well, very effectively? So is it bind the paint to the wall very well, bond everything together? So you check that one as well. Thing is you check the durability and the washability. So is this particular paint, is it durable on the wall after you finish the work, like using 4, 5, 6 years, or it's just paint that you use 6 months? So you check all these things. And if it is paints that are washable like satin, zinc, and the eggshell, so is it washable? So you check if they use the correct chemicals, so it's going to be washable. And lastly but not the least is for you to check the paint finishing. So you check the finishing. Is the finishing line, is it okay? So when you finish the work, like is the finishing appearance, is it giving or is not giving? So if the finishing is giving, so congratulations, you did a very good job with a very good quality paint quality. So these are the necessary things that require so for you to check in a paint. So before you stick to a particular paint, that this is what you'll be using. And if you are the kind of painter that produce paint, so make sure your paint, your production meets all these standards. So if it meets all these standards, it's going to save you stress so from doing the work, and it's going to even promote your company or your brand. So and to even represent you very well. So you have to like be having a quality paint. So don't just be looking at the small profit that you want to make, and you'll be producing anyhow paint, because there are many painter outside there. They will just carry material, go to sites, mix anything. So they even neglect some chemicals. They will tell you it's not necessary, it's not necessary. So after, at the end of it, within 2 3 weeks of their work, so you see that the paint is fading already. So and all this thing is not okay. So make sure your paint is always meets standard for you to have a good standard as well. So this is all I get about the about how to calculate your paint quality. So this is Talkless Interior and Exterior Designs. So um we meet in the next video. Thank you.